Okay, guys, so let's talk about what to do when you have the roadblock of some sort of physical, mental disability, something that you feel you are physically limited. You cannot do this, whether it's a chronic illness, it's a sickness, it's an injury, maybe it's age, like whatever it is that you physically cannot work the way that you want to, or even mentally, right? Like maybe you suffer with depression or ADHD, whatever it is, physical or mental illness, anything that is hindering you, let's talk about it. Because this is something that can really just suck us of all of our life. And I say this as somebody who has multiple chronic illnesses. I was misdiagnosed as a type 2 diabetic for 10 years of my life. I finally ended up realizing I was a rare type of diabetic. So I am fully insulin dependent and diabetic. I wear insulin pumps. I also have thyroid issues, so I have to take medicine for that. I also have a condition called chronic urticaria, if I'm pronouncing that right, which is basically chronic hives. So if I don't treat, I get horribly itchy to the point where I can't sleep, which is why in like videos and stuff, if you see me scratching, that's what that is about. But with all that being said, I am not saying that for any type of pity. I am saying that because I know how difficult it is to do the things that you really want to do when you feel like your own body and your own brain are fighting against you. Like it feels like a losing battle. And then, especially in our homes, it's so easy for laundry to fall behind, for dishes to fall behind, for whatever. Like it is so easy for your home to just like close in on you because you don't have the energy. You don't have the mental capacity to just like, yeah, rah, rah, let's go get it done. Like you don't feel that way. Like I said, I was misdiagnosed for 10 years. And for those 10 years, I literally felt like I was killing myself when I was eating. I felt so trapped in my body. I would just have times where I would just break down and cry because I felt so broken as a person. And I couldn't understand why it seemed like everybody else was normal, but everything in my body was breaking. Like it's so hard, you guys. I get it. It is so hard. But here's the thing that I really want to talk about now. And I really hope this comes from a place of empowerment. You are capable. You are capable. You just have to do it differently. Okay. And this is where we have to look at our limitations and we don't have to muscle through because sometimes the most empowering thing that we can do is to give ourselves rest and to pace ourselves and to go slowly and to maybe have days where we don't get anything done. That is okay too. But what we do need to do is because of these limitations, we need to lean even heavier into simplifying our life. We need to lean even heavier into saying, I'm not going to put up with all this crap in my house that's draining my energy. And so when you start taking this approach of saying, energy is so precious to me, it is so precious to me. I'm not going to let that stupid box of knickknacks that's been sitting on my shelf for 5 years that I constantly feel like I need to deal with. I'm not going to let that drain my energy anymore. I'm going to deal with it. And maybe you have 10 minutes where you feel good enough to do something. Go deal with that box, right? Maybe you're in a position where you can stand up for 5 minutes at a time before you're just like, I'm done, I gotta quit. Then you decide in those 5 minutes, I'm gonna get aggressive with removing things from my life that are complicating my life, that are draining my energy, that are making it difficult to keep up with the house. And I'm telling you guys, if you get really aggressive with removing things from your home and removing things from your life, going even deeper, removing people that aren't serving you, removing obligations that you don't need, removing expectations, removing anything in your life that isn't serving you. When you get really aggressive with that, your life becomes simpler and you start getting back energy that is so precious to you. Okay. I remember at one point I had a really bad back issue. I had a blown disc I don't know why. It just like randomly, anyway, doesn't matter. And it got to the point where literally I couldn't walk. I could stand up for maybe about 90 seconds, a couple minutes before I was literally on the floor, incapacitated. Like I could barely sit up for long enough to go to the bathroom before I was like writhing in pain. And those few moments of energy were so crucial. And so it's moments like that that made me realize that my energy is one of the most important things I have. Sometimes even more than time is my energy, because we all have 24 hours in the day, but we don't all have the same amount of energy. If you deal with anything chronic, you deal with any kind of depression, you deal with anything in your body or your brain, you do not have the same kind of energy. And so we have to preserve that. And without going too far down the rabbit hole, sorry, my eye's itching. Without going too far down the rabbit hole, our things draw our energy, whether we want them to or not. Okay. And so what we need to be really aware of is that all the things in our house are drawing our energy. So we need to get like in there and say, I'm not going to let you draw my energy. I'm getting this crap out of my house so that my life is simple, so that my home is simple, so that I can maximize the energy that I do have. Okay. So if you are dealing with something chronic in your body, in your mind, whatever it is for you, I totally get it. Lean into tiny little chunks. And in those tiny little chunks, lock in, focus, and get aggressive with getting rid of things. Because when you do that, you will start creating an environment where you are more in control of your energy. You are more in control of what you give that energy to. And that is very, very, very important and powerful. Okay. So get into your journal and your worksheet. This is going to help you dig even a little bit further. I love you. I am proud of you. You can absolutely do this. I'll see you in the next one.